Hello everyone, welcome to iExamBee. I'm Neha, your law faculty at LegalBee of iExamBee. Today in this video, I'll be continuing with our mock test series discussion which we have already started and अभी तक हमने बहुत सारे topics पे mock test discuss किए हैं, MCQs discuss किए हैं. But today in this particular video, I'll be taking ahead the Indian Contract Act related mock test. But before that, let me remind you that अगर आपको कोई भी questions हो, queries हो, कोई भी doubt हो, you can connect to us through this particular email ID or you can contact us through the mobile number which is displayed on the screen. इसके अलावा आप हमारी वेबसाइट को भी विजिट कर सकते हो जहाँ पे कि आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगी with respect to the various competitive exams. So to get your doubt clarified, to make your preparations 50% faster with us, do remember to subscribe to our channel and press on the bell icon so that you can stay tuned and stay updated. So today, as I already mentioned, हम Indian Contract Act से related mock test series discussion को start करने वाले हैं और इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट के अंदर हम देखेंगे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और उसके काफी सारे बेसिक रिलेटेड एस्पेक्ट्स को, उससे रिलेटेड एमसीक्यूज आज हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. द वेरी फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर टुडेज डिस्कशन इज एन अग्रीमेंट एज पर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट मीन्स. सो व्हाट इज एन अग्रीमेंट? सिंपल अगर हम इसे कहें अग्रीमेंट क्या होता है, और आप देख सकते हो देयर आर वेरियस ऑप्शंस व्हिच आर अवेलेबल ओवर हियर एंड द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज डी, व्हिच इज एवरी प्रॉमिस एंड एवरी सेट ऑफ प्रॉमिसेस फॉर्मिंग द कंसिडरेशन फॉर ईच अदर. सो बेसिकली अग्रीमेंट क्या है? प्रॉमिस होता है जो दो लोग एक दूसरे से करते हैं एंड जहाँ पे की कंसिडरेशन का इन्वॉल्वमेंट होता है उन दोनों पार्टीज के लिए फॉर ईच ऑफ देम. ठीक है, अगर हम बेसिक की बात करें कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट से तो वहाँ क्या होता है हमें पता है. कोई भी पर्सन जो है ऑफर देता है, ठीक है, अगर एक पर्सन ने ऑफर दिया है, ही वांट्स दैट पर्टिकुलर ऑफर टू बी एक्सेप्टेड. सो ऑफर दैट हैज टू बी गिवन बाय वन ऑफ द पर्सन्स. देयर शुड बी एन एक्सेप्टेंस बाय द पर्सन टू whom the offer has been made. Obviously जिसको ऑफर दिया जाएगा उसकी एक्सेप्टेंस इम्पोर्टेंट, नॉट एनीवन एल्स. तो एक ऑफर होना चाहिए, उस ऑफर का एक्सेप्टेंस होना चाहिए और अगर ये दोनों प्रेजेंट हैं तो दैट विल लीड टू द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ अ प्रॉमिस. उन दोनों के बीच में एक प्रॉमिस हो जाता है विच बाइंड्स देम लीगली. सो देयर शुड बी एन ऑफर, देयर शुड बी एन एक्सेप्टेंस एंड दैट अमाउंट्स टू अ प्रॉमिस बाइंडिंग द पार्टीज. अगर एक प्रॉमिस है और साथ ही साथ कंसिडरेशन है, कंसिडरेशन हमें पता है इट इज समथिंग विच ईच ऑफ देम गेट्स इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रॉमिस, और इट इज समथिंग फॉर समथिंग जो हम बहुत सिंपल टर्म में कंसिडरेशन को अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं. सो अगर प्रॉमिस और कंसिडरेशन इन्वॉल्व है देन इट लीड्स टू द अग्रीमेंट बिटवीन द पार्टीज एंड व्हेन देयर इज एन अग्रीमेंट एंड देयर इज एन इनफोर्सेबिलिटी दैट लीड्स टू अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. तो आप देख सकते हो एक सीक्वेंस, एक इजी वे टू रिमेम्बर सम ऑफ द बेसिक थिंग्स रिलेटेड टू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट. एक ऑफर होना चाहिए, एक एक्सेप्टेंस होना चाहिए, और जब अगर ऑफर और एक्सेप्टेंस है तो एक प्रॉमिस होगा पार्टीज के बीच में. जब प्रॉमिस है और कंसिडरेशन होगा तो क्या होगा, उनके बीच में एक अग्रीमेंट बन जाएगा. बट अगर इस अग्रीमेंट के साथ इन्फोर्सिबिलिटी एस्पेक्ट भी है तब ही वो एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनेगा, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कहलाएगा. अब ये इन्फोर्सिबिलिटी बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फॉर्मेशन. तो आप इस पर्टिकुलर वीडियो के कमेंट सेक्शन में जाके मुझे बता सकते हो कि ये टर्म जो इन्फोर्सिबिलिटी है इसका क्या मतलब होता है. व्हाट डज द टर्म इन्फोर्सिबिलिटी अंडर द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट बेसिकली मीन्स. नाउ वी विल बी मूविंग अहेड टू आवर वेरी नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, which talks about the communication of revocation is complete as against the person who makes it. So we know there needs to be a communication of offer and acceptance and there should communication of revocation also. If we talk about the communication of revocation when it is considered to be complete with respect to the person who is making that revocation, so there are various options. इस particular question में आपको सही ऑप्शन उसमें से चूज करना है. यहाँ फिलहाल हम communication of revocation की बात कर रहे हैं, तब वो complete माना जाएगा. So with respect to the person who is making it, and the correct option is E, when it is put into the course of transmission to the person to whom it is made so as to be out of the power of the person who makes it. तो आप देख सकते हो सेक्शन 4 जो है हमारा इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट इसके बारे में बात कर रहा है. कम्युनिकेशन व्हेन कंप्लीट, द कम्युनिकेशन ऑफ रेवोकेशन इज कंप्लीट एज अगेंस्ट द पर्सन हु मेक्स इट, जो हमारे क्वेश्चन में है. व्हेन इट इज पुट इनटू द कोर्स ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन टू द पर्सन टू whom it is made so as to be out of the power of the person who makes it, and as against the person to whom it is made when it comes to his knowledge. जब उसके नॉलेज में आ जाएगा तब उसके कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कंसिडर किया जाएगा that there is a communication of revocation that is complete. Now question number 3 that talks about the communication of acceptance. Okay, मैं आपको अभी यही बता रही थी. So communication of acceptance is complete as against the acceptors, and the correct option is C, which is when it comes to the knowledge of the proposer. Section 4 में again इससे related provision है जो कहता है communication of acceptance is complete as against the proposer when it is put into the course of transmission to him so as has to be out of the power of the acceptor as against the accept when it comes to the knowledge of the proposer. Question number 4, that is talking about which of the following is correct relating to acceptance. So what is acceptance? What are the various aspects, essentials related to acceptance? वो बहुत important है, या फिर offer की अगर आप बात करो तो वो भी important है. So which of the following is correct relating to acceptance? It must be absolute, it must be conditional, must be expressed in some usual and reasonable manner, all A, B and C and both A and C. And the correct option is E, जो कि है both A and C. Section 7 इसके बारे में बात करता है. Acceptance must be absolute in order to convert a proposal into a promise. Section 7 कहता है कि अगर कोई भी proposal, कोई भी offer को convert करना है promise में, then in that case जो भी acceptance दिया जाएगा that must be absolute and unqualified होना चाहिए. That should be expressed in some usual and reasonable manner until unless there is any prescribed manner, etc. Now moving on to our very next question, that is question number 5, that is talking about what is meant by expressed promise. Expressed, implied, ये term आप बहुत सुनोगे जब आप contract act पढ़ोगे, ठीक है? When you are going through the contract act, these are the very simple basic terms which you will be frequently coming across. So if we talk about express promise, what does it mean? बहुत clear होना होगा आपको क्योंकि exams में ऐसे ही near and confusing options आपको दिए जाते हैं. And the correct option is D, which is when the proposal or acceptance of any promise is made in words. Section 9 is talking about that promises expressed and implied. So far as the proposal or acceptance of any promise is made in words, the promise is said to be expressed. So क्या है यहाँ पे what is meant by express promise? When the proposal or the acceptance of any promise that is made in words. And if the proposal or acceptance is made otherwise than in words, the promise is said to be implied. Now moving on to our question number 6, that is talking about all agreements are not contract if it is. So while studying the Indian Contract Act, we have come across this a lot many times that why all contract agreements but all agreements are not contract and all. So उस context में यहाँ आपका question है all agreements are not contract when. So the correct option is when it is or if it is expressly declared to be void one. So Indian Contract Act में there are certain agreements जिसको कि expressly declare किया है law ने void. Section 10 is very important. That is talking about what agreements are contract. All agreements are contract if they are made by the free consent of the parties competent to contract for a lawful consideration and lawful object, not hereby expressly declared to be void. Now moving on to our question number 7, which is talking about who are not competent to contract as per the Contract Act. So competency of the parties बहुत important है. In fact बहुत सारी चीजें जो Contract Act के अंदर है बहुत basic है, बहुत ही important. So who all are not competent to contract? And the correct option is who is disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject, which is option number C. आप देख सकते हो इससे related provision हमारा दिया है section 11 में, which is talking who are competent to contract. Every person is competent to contract who is of the age of majority. So आपको major होना है. Then he should be of sound mind and he should not be disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject. Question number 8 that talks about as per the Indian Contract Act, what is the correct sequence of the following? Sequence chronology इनमें से किसका सही है? Offer, promise, contract, agreement, acceptance, and you can see the chronology which you have to choose. The correct option with respect to this is 1, which is A, E, B, D, C. What is A? Which is off, that is acceptance. What is B? That is promise. D, which is agreement, and C, that is contract. So basically there has to be an offer, then there has to be an acceptance जो कि अभी हमने थोड़ी देर पहले भी देखा था. This will amount to promise. So when there is a promise and there is a consideration, that will amount to agreement. When there is an agreement plus enforceability, then that will be amounting to contract. Explanation में आप देख सकते हो various sections मैंने mention किया. Section 2A that is talking about when one person signifies to another his willingness to do or abstain from doing anything with a view to obtaining the assent of that other person, he is said to make a proposal. So proposal is nothing other than our offer. In the same way, you can see over here section 2 clause B says when the person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. A proposal when accepted, that becomes a promise. And section 2 clause E says every promise and set of promises forming consideration for each other is an agreement. Going ahead, and question question number 9, that is talking about an offer can be revoked by, and the correct option with respect to the particular question is D, which is all the above. So A, B and C all are correct. An offer can be revoked by the failure of the acceptor to fulfill a condition precedent to acceptance, lapse of time prescribed in the proposal for its acceptance, death or insanity of proposal, and if the fact of his death or insanity comes to the knowledge of the acceptor before acceptance. So these are all the grounds based on which an offer can be revoked. Section 6, that is talking about revocation how made. Now moving on to our next question, that is question number 10, and it is talking about communication, acceptance and revocation of proposal are deemed to be made by dash, by which he intends to communicate such proposal, acceptance or revocation, or which has the effect of communicating it. And the correct option over here is D, any act or omission of the party proposing, accepting or revoking. Section 3 से related provision contain करता है communication, acceptance and revocation of proposal are deemed to be made by an act or omission of the party proposing, accepting or revoking by which he intends. वहाँ intention क्या है कि communicate किया जाए उस proposal को, acceptance को या revocation को, or which has the effect of communicating it. So with this we come to an end of our discussion for today's video. However, मैं आगे के videos में अभी contract act से related और भी aspects और भी important mock test को discuss करूंगी, MCQs को discuss करूंगी. So आप याद से हमारे channel LegalBee को subscribe करें